around 18, I was really sad that I never had an idol, or I never had a mentor, or I never had a teacher. I literally have never had anyone that I really looked up to say, I want to be like them, you know? And I think that that was sad for me for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I got over that. I'm like, okay, I can be my own teacher. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what I encourage other people to do.
Yeah. Okay, she is back. Elizabeth April.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're still getting views on our old episodes.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. And there's a lot going on. A lot of your predictions have come true already.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 months in and I got to make a new video.
Yeah. Usually it takes the full year to see that your predictions come to light, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like time has really sped up this year. There's a lot of things happening at once. It's very simultaneous, which I think is really leading a lot of people to a state of overwhelm.
Yeah. And politics is crazy right now.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of uncertainty. Talks about a recession, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, I predicted, I said the first about 90 days of the year, we're going to see a dip in the stock market, potentially leading to a recession in Q2. Here we are.
It's looking like everyone's scared to say we're in one, but I think we might.
Yeah, we're leading that way for sure.
Yeah. Stocks and crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto got wrecked.
Hey, great time to buy.
Yeah, I know, right? HODL. You've been getting banned in the meantime on social media platforms.
Yeah, TikTok just, no warning, just completely removed my account.
And YouTube's been glitchy with you, right?
Oh yeah, YouTube has been just dying like halfway through my videos. I've been literally kicked off of my live streams now multiple times. I've been on there for about 10 years and that's never happened. And it's happened multiple times this year.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It seems like a lot of the platforms kind of talk to each other too.
Yep, absolutely.
Because when I get censored on one, the next week I'll get censored on another one.
On the other one, yeah.
Yeah, and certain guests, they must have algorithms to detect like their face or something. So I just get shadow banned after the episode.
Right. Are you tagging them or?
No.
Wow.
Not even tagging them because the ones that happens on, they're already banned. Like it'll be like Tate or it'll be like someone else that's banned.
Yeah. Who knows? Is it facial recognition or is it voice recognition? Like you don't know these days.
Yeah, AI is getting so good. I'll be watching a video and I can't tell anymore.
I know.
It's so good.
And it's just so rapid because 3 months ago it wasn't like that.
Yeah, because before you could tell with the mouth or the eyes.
Yep.
But
or
now,
the hands.
yeah. And now there's paid ads that are using AI models.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, with AI, and I think we might have talked about this before, but it's creating a sense of disillusion, right? We don't know anymore. And given another couple of months, we don't know if that's Elon Musk saying that thing or not, right? And so I think what we're going to have is a lot of people being very confused, very outraged, very misled, which we already are, but it's going to be to that next level. And what's going to happen is it's going to really lead people inward, right? What is your intuition telling you? Not what is this video telling you?
Right. Speaking of Elon, he's under a lot of fire right now. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts because at first everyone loved him, I feel like, and now everyone hates him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what happens when you get into politics.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't really have an opinion because I don't get involved personally, but yeah, I think that certain people should stay out of politics, and he might have been one of them.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah. Glitches. We got to talk about these glitches going on.
Crazy. So what's happening right now is we're getting hit with a lot of solar flares, right? We're in a solar maximum, and that increases the frequency on the planet, which essentially increases the amount of glitches that we have. So that could be time speeding up, that could be time slowing down, that could be even duplications or weird sort of timeline glitches. So for example, the other day I was putting a bunch of I cooked in my kitchen, I was putting everything away, I went to go put the cinnamon back. So I turn around and pick it up, turn around, put it in the cupboard. I turn back around and there it is sitting on the counter. Like I never even touched it. I don't have 2 cinnamons. And so I had to check the cupboard to see, oh my goodness, I just put this away. Is it there? It wasn't. It was right back to where it began, like where it started.
Wow.
So these are just going to increase. They're going to happen more and more as we move forward.
So is that a timeline shift when something like that happens?
Yeah, that's a good indication of a timeline shift. So even like things like Mandela effects, like misremembering something is a good indication that something has shifted. And when you notice one small shift or one small glitch, typically there's going to be other glitches that happen around you as well.
Wow. I wonder if that's why history is so inaccurate.
I think there's many reasons why history is inaccurate. Yeah.
It's a shame because I loved history growing up.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite class, I think.
Yeah. And then you grow up and you realize that we were really taught one side of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One side and most of it wasn't even true.
Exactly.
So that's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Public doctrination, right?
Uh-huh.
It's been overtaken. I did want to bring up the pyramid stuff because no one saw that coming, right? Unless you predicted it.
Well, I mean, I remote viewed the pyramids over 10 years ago now. And I saw a lot of stuff going on underneath them. I saw them as a free energy device back then. Essentially, not only do the pyramids generate electricity, or at least they used to because they're inactive now, but then they would store electricity in them as well. I also saw that the obelisks, those giant sort of towers, are almost like a 5G tower in a sense, like an ancient 5G tower.
Wow.
And it would essentially hold the frequency and then emit it as well. And so then you have to ask, why was there free energy technology back then? And what was it really being used for? So what I saw, at least in my remote viewing, is way back in ancient Egyptian times and even way before then, there were actually spacecraft back then, and they would hover right over top of the pyramids and they would charge. So it was like a charging port, like an EV charging port for spaceships. And then it was also, they would act as like stargates and portals. So there were spaceships that would pop in and pop out of just above the pyramids when it was active anyway.
So that's electronic energy or electric energy?
Electromagnetic frequency, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now Elon's kind of doing something similar, right? With electric vehicles.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know about that.
Damn, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So they had all that advanced technology back then.
Back then, yeah. So it really kind of makes you question, like, who created the pyramids and why did they create them? And, I think we've already had those questions, but all these new discoveries are just sparking that even further. And it's going to lead us to extraterrestrials. There's no way we were advanced or evolved enough for that. It was definitely technology from off planet.
Wow. So that's going to get exposed soon because there's a lot of pyramids. So I wonder if that's on every single one.
Yeah. So I think most of the pyramids were specifically built aligned to the stars and aligned to certain ancient sites. And then we have something called ley lines on the planet, which are essentially just electromagnetic lines. They're frequency lines on the planet. And when these ley lines intersect, it creates a portal or a vortex. This is scientific. This isn't woo-woo. And so a lot of these ancient sites were actually built on the vortex, on those ley lines intersecting. And I think that was to amplify the frequency that they would generate and hold.
Did you remote view the Sphinx too?
I did, yeah. And once again, this was 10, 12 years ago. And what I saw was that deep underneath the Sphinx is a room, a chamber. And there's a lot of ancient information in that chamber, specifically related to the Orion Wars and the Lyrans or Lyrans, however you want to pronounce it, but the sort of the feline type interdimensional beings. I don't know much about them personally, but that's what I saw down there. And it was like a year or two after I remote viewed that. That was probably back in 2010, where they did one of those LiDAR scans. And lo and behold, there is an ancient chamber that no one can access underneath the Sphinx.
Wow.
Which just confirmed what I remote viewed.
Makes you wonder how much of ancient civilizations are just underground and no one even knows about it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I remote viewed Mars.
Oh, yeah?
Like 2 days ago, just because I was curious. So I did my own sort of solo investigation, and there's a lot of bases there, but same thing, they're all underground. So they have doorways. So Mars has these like sort of doorways above ground. But then once you go into them, there are these huge cavernous, kind of looking like military bases up there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you think those are active or you think those were from previous civilizations?
They're very active. So there are beings up there. And they don't really care about humanity. Like they're not necessarily there for any sort of agenda that has anything to do with humans. But it did look like they were mining some sort of resource underground. And I'm not sure. I wasn't able to determine why they were extracting what they were extracting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have heard people say there was a war on Mars in the past, right?
Yeah. So it used to be, it never looked the way that it does. Like it definitely feels like there was some sort of cataclysm or event or explosion. I wasn't able to get the full story, but It was quite an active civilization at one point.
I saw you made a video on black holes recently too.
I'm about to remote view and ask the Galactic Federation about black holes today.
Wow.
So I'm curious. I don't think I've ever really dove into that, but yeah, I mean, what are they? Are they a threat to extraterrestrials out there, despite all the technology and advancements they have, or are they a doorway to, say, another universe? I'm not sure, but I definitely have my questions for them.
That's exciting. I wonder what would happen if you were like astral traveling and you went in one.
I'm curious about that. I don't think I'd ever get close, or maybe the information today would like basically give me permission to do that, and that would be fine, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What if you just end up in another universe? Who knows?
And then you're separated from your body for life. I'm not sure.
Scary.
And then you become an NPC.
Oh my gosh. Is that possible when you're astral traveling to get trapped?
So you can definitely get very far away, and there is a possibility for entities to actually try and cut the cord that connects your astral body to your physical body. So that can be a little bit of a threat. There are also people who have done sort of psychedelics before, potentially maybe way too much acid, and they get separated or removed from their body for the rest of their life or for a long time. And sometimes that's like the flashbacks that people have as well. So obviously do all that stuff just with discernment and awareness.
I have heard that from psychedelics when they have a bad trip on acid. I never even thought that'd be the soul leaving the body though.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah,
makes
you're kind of
sense.
just stuck wandering in different dimensions. You know,
My gosh.
it's hard to come back. Yeah, it was just kind of scary.
That's super scary. Yeah, I don't do psychedelics anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to. So
Yeah, I just feel like the risk to reward isn't there.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I believe that psychedelics or plant medicine is just a doorway, but we can get there ourselves through breath work, through deep states of meditation. We can unlock and release dimethyltryptamine in our own pineal glands. So why would we need an external stimulant to do that?
Yeah.
It's great, but it's not the finish line. Like we need to empower ourselves to know that we can do that.
Yeah. The body does release DMT when it dies though, the physical body, right?
Yeah, when we're born, when we die, and when we're in REM sleep. That's why when we can astral travel or lucid dream, that's when things get really trippy, is because we're in full conscious control of other dimensions.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you lucid dreaming often?
I used to all the time, and then it honestly gets exhausting because you're consciously awake in your living life, and then you're also consciously aware and awake in your dream life. So I remember all my dreams, but I don't necessarily need to control them anymore. I used to lucid dream every single night, and for me, that was a gateway to remote viewing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I heard that's like the first step, right?
That's a big step. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you still remember all your dreams today, though?
I do, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You have like 6 to 8 a night, right?
There's a lot. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have they been wild lately? Because mine have been
They've been
crazy.
so wild. Yeah. So I always say that a good determining factor for how close someone is to other dimensions and other realms is how often they remember their dreams. So if someone never remembers their dream, they're pretty anchored, they're pretty rooted in this reality, which is totally fine. Like there's no judgment. For someone who's very active in their dreams and wakes up remembering their dreams, they're a lot closer to those other dimensional realms than, say, this physical reality. So it would be a lot easier for that person to meditate, to visualize, and to work in the astral realms.
That makes a lot of sense because when I was atheist, I didn't remember my dreams.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I could definitely see that when I was living with no purpose.
Yeah, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I went through that phase. But you made a video on purpose. I thought it was cool. It was like the top 10 most common missions.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know their mission or purpose. So that's a good video to check out.
Yeah, it is. That's just on YouTube or my website. What's your purpose, your soul purpose, or your mission? And it's in my book too. I go through all of the soul missions in my book. You're not dying, you're just waking up. And I have remote viewed thousands of clients over many years. And this is what I've determined, right? These top 10. So
I didn't realize people could have the same one, same mission.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that mission can play out in so many different ways, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a healer, you could be a nurse or even a teacher, an elementary school teacher.
That makes sense because you're healing in different modalities.
Yep, exactly.
Is that the most common one, the healer?
Yeah, the healer is probably the most common one. And then we have the rebel. as well, which is someone who wants to fight against the system. And I support those people 100% because someone needs to step in. Someone needs to.
That's Trump, right?
Yeah. Well, that's Trump, but then also all the people against Trump, like they have that rebel mission. Like they feel like there's an injustice being done and they want to stand up against it. So we have the right and the left side both have rebels in them, and they're both rioting against each other. And I think the last time that astrologically we were in this sort of alignment, and I'm not an astrologer, was the Civil War of America. So this is kind of what we're seeing play out right now.
That's scary. There's a lot of war going on right now too.
Yeah.
Seems like it's never going to stop.
Yeah, it will. It'll get worse before it gets better, and we're just in that worst stage right now.
Yeah. You think we'll get world peace one day?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it would be.
Hasn't happened in what, thousands of years?
A long time. A long time. Yeah.
Okay. We'll be in another human body by then, probably.
Yeah. Or hopefully an ET body just off planet. That'd be great.
There's a direct link with autism and telepathy.
Yeah, I've heard that. People have been telling me that. That's so cool.
I mean, you're able to do telepathy yourself, but I guess if you have like severe autism, these kids are just doing it casually.
So tapped in. So, I've said, I actually have a video on my website called The New Humans. And I have like 5 different traits that new humans have. And one of the traits is being on the spectrum. So they're in a higher frequency. And when they come into this body, their brains don't function the same way that ours do. Same thing like people with ADHD, good indication that you're not functioning the same way that our school system is teaching you. Right. And that's why it's really tough to sit down at a desk and do what you're being told, because that's not how you function. Right. And so it's just fascinating. I definitely think, the chemicals and the heavy metals in our food and our air and our water aren't helping, and our vaccines aren't helping. But I do think that these new humans are coming in with a new vibration, and their bodies and their brains just aren't keeping up with their frequency. And telepathy is a huge part of that. Overstimulation is a huge part of that. They're very sensitive to sounds and tastes and smells. So it's hard for them to eat regular food all the time. It's hard for them to be out in public and hear all of the sounds of this world. They're just sensitive, and we're not teaching them properly.
Yeah. I mean, I have ADHD and I struggled in school. It was terrible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was jumping off the walls, getting in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The autism rates are skyrocketing though. So that means we are headed towards more people having telepathy powers.
Yeah. And not only that, but we're heading towards reforming the education system to actually appropriately be able to handle and navigate these individuals who just think a different way. They're not wrong. They're not bad, but we do need a huge reformation in order to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. You made a few videos a few weeks ago about the Illuminati. You get some blowback from those?
Well, yeah, it was shortly after that where my TikTok account was shut down, and then halfway through that video, it just blacked out. It just like YouTube literally just could not handle that, and it stopped, and I had to start a whole new video, and it was pretty wild. Yeah. So right now, like the Illuminati is falling. Like right now, good is dying, and it's really clear to see. Like we've got Diddy, but we've got Epstein, Weinstein, like all of this sort of corruption is coming to light. And I think I mentioned this before, but influencers are sort of taking the space now of celebrities, and the Illuminati can't recruit new members anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a really good thing that we're seeing. But I think a lot of people who are fangirls for these celebrities are going to be really disappointed to realize who their crushes and whatever idols are.
Yeah. So you think the members will start getting exposed?
I think so. I mean, ideally, I would love to see, a big A-list celebrity shapeshift in front of a million people.
That'd be nuts.
That would be full disclosure, like in an instant of what they've been doing this whole time. So for me, like that's the hope I'm holding. But I think that we're going to get kind of more of a slower rollout, like we've seen.
Yeah. Well, there was the Katy Perry eye twitch thing. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Her like glitching on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot of those, like a lot of celebrities over the years. Just a lot of that, unfortunately, is like MK Ultra programming. And they just like drug these people up like they're puppets, right? For their games. So, those people keep us distracted.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Sports are the same thing. I hate to say it. People hate to hear it. But Sports are just one big distraction from the truth.
Wow.
Politics is the same thing. It's one big distraction from the truth. If you're attached to one side or another, then you're not seeing behind what you're feeding into the game, So that's why I'm so removed. Like, I could never do trivia night. Like, I am like just like so anti pop culture. Like, even as a kid, like I never had an idol. I never had a celebrity or a musician or a band that I was into because I just really saw through the bullshit right away.
That's impressive as a kid, because as a kid, it's very easy to idolize people.
All my friends, Hillary Duff, Blink-182, and they say, yeah, that was the thing. I just never understood it. I never had posters on my wall, like never.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And was that just your own intuition or your?
Yeah, it was just, I just could never understand how someone could idolize someone else. Like it just never made sense to me. And when I was a little bit older, like around 18, I was really sad that I never had an idol or I never had a mentor or I never had a teacher. I literally have never had anyone that I really looked up to say, I want to be like them, And I think that was sad for me for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I got over that. I'm like, okay, I can be my own teacher. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what I encourage other people to do.
Yeah.
Question everything, question even me, and find your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that we are all students of the universe and teachers of its knowledge. We're students and teachers. So the best teachers are always even better students.
And you're very aware of the content you consume.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I have to be. So I can't consume any spiritual content or alien UFO content. So not only am I like against pop culture and politics and everything that's going on mainstream in the world, but then I like don't even consume content in my own space because I have to keep my perception so clear about what I am receiving. I don't want to front load my perception.
So do you even have a television?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so you watch Netflix and stuff?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Just very picky of what shows?
Yeah, just like really mind-melting, like love on the spectrum.
The autism one?
Yeah, the autism
Yeah,
one.
I've seen clips of that.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. You have to watch it.
That's a cute show.
Yeah,
Six cute couples from there.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of stuff. But I try and stay away from anything in my space.
Yeah, it's so easy to. I just found out yesterday at the Zach Bagans Museum that demons can, if you watch like a scary movie, like they can kind of get more and closer to you.
It just lowers your frequency, so you're just more susceptible. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
Which is nuts, right?
Yeah,
just watching crazy. A horror movie.
Yeah, but also like if you travel a lot, like you can pick up entities from other people in airports.
Really?
On a plane. Yeah, they can like hop around.
Oh my God.
I know. It doesn't mean that you're not supposed to go out and do anything. It just means you should have like some cleansing practices. Obviously, things like crystals. Like if you can raise the vibration of your living situation, then they can't really come into your home.
I could see that because whenever I sleep at hotels, I have nightmares.
Yeah.
It's the previous person's energies, residue, right?
Yep, exactly. So I always kind of do some energetic clearing and bubbling and white light, a lot of white light work. But I'm very sensitive and aware of different frequencies and energies.
Yeah. What's bubbling?
So like if I go anywhere, I will like put an energetic bubble around my body or around my family's like body. And then I'll also like energetically bubble, say my car, if I'm doing a road trip somewhere. And that bubble is just to protect me from anything that's not of the same frequency. Wow. Which is so cool because when you walk around and you have bubbled yourself and are aligning to just your frequency, you always end up meeting people who align to your frequency.
Really?
Like I could go to a coffee shop and just bump into someone who's like all about aliens or something. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Anywhere I go, I meet these like little diamonds in the rough. Yeah.
It's like that famous quote, you are what you attract.
Yeah. Frequency attracts frequency.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just being intentional about who you are and how you walk around and who you interact with as well. Yeah.
When it comes to dating, the frequency matter of the two people?
Absolutely, yeah. So sometimes you'll match with the exact same frequency as you, which is obviously like a great match. And then other times what you're lacking, someone else will have. So that's sort of a puzzle piece fitting. And so there's pros and cons to either approach.
Do you believe that phrase opposites attract?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. opposites attract. It's almost like two halves create a whole.
Yeah.
But recently we've been sort of changing the game on dating, and it's been like, instead of finding your other half, become a whole individual yourself and find another whole. And that's a real stable relationship. It's I'm complete and I'm looking for someone else who's done the work on themselves.
I love that. Self-development first, right?
Exactly.
Because if you just date with all the trauma that's unresolved.
Yeah. So, and then you just find someone who's triggering that trauma
Right.
only for you to heal it, but that's not really your person.
Yeah.
That's just like a karmic connection.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you seeing a lot of your audience struggle with dating right now?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of old souls who have a really hard time finding their match. And also being an old soul, we've had so many past lifetimes that you end up meeting a lot of people from past lives. So it's passionate and fiery, and it feels like you know this person. And then the fire fizzles out almost right away because the karmic energy is cleared. That past life has cleared. So it's not like they're your one in this lifetime, but it's so hard to get over those people that you date because it feels like you've known them, right? So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually old souls are single for a long period of time, or they date a lot and they have a lot of strong connections, but none of them last for a long time.
Yeah, I was single hell along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I think I'm an old soul. I get told that a lot.
Yeah, I definitely feel that in you.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of crazy times.
Yeah, it's tough to be single out there.
Yeah. And social media, like with the comparing thing and instant gratification, it's just really tough market right now.
It's kind of like, going onto Netflix and being like, what do I watch?
Yeah.
20 years ago, we never had that problem. Had like a DVD and like that was it. Or you go to Blockbuster and you rent that.
Yep.
But these days you have so many options. It's really hard. And all of my single friends in LA, like they can't find anyone.
Oh, in LA, yeah.
It's Los Angeles though. Like how many people are there? And yet everyone's just looking for the next best thing, or they're looking to ladder climb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. Any plans to remote view anywhere coming up other than Mars?
Okay, so I just did Mars. I have not released that video. There's a lot of things so I'm just developing a series right now. It's called the Who Is series. So I have this whole list of people that I've never remote viewed before that I'm going to go ahead and remote view. So, and I asked my community who you want. Oprah came up a lot, so I'll be remote viewing her.
She'd be interesting.
That'd be really interesting. And then Putin, I'm gonna remote view as well. Very curious about him. Like
he probably has a defense team, right?
I'm thinking, I think a lot of these people have really big teams. I'm gonna remote view Trudeau, but now I don't know if it's relevant because he's out of office. But so there's a great list of people I'm gonna be remote viewing. That content is going to be released in 2026.
Ooh, can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That'll be a good series. Yeah. Maybe some more ancient sites too would be interesting.
Yeah, I've done a lot in the past, but I could always kick that back up. Sometimes I feel very unsafe releasing information that I've remote viewed. So I have to be very careful. Like I just did a blind remote viewing session the other day. Which is essentially a military style. You get coordinates and that's all you get, right? And you work with someone who's giving you the target. And so I ended up sketching this image of this man in these robes with a beard on a rock. He was standing on a rock and he was talking to this crowd of people. So I depicted that, and it turned out to be Jesus, and it's called the Sermon on the Mount.
Whoa.
Which is a really famous moment Jesus had with his followers. So it's crazy how even blind scientific remote viewing, you can go into the past and all we really have to depict that moment is a painting.
Wow.
A Renaissance painting, right? Sermon on the Mount. And so those sort of things are, same thing. I'm like, I don't know how much I really want to be out there, what I can do. You know what I mean? Because my dad always said, like, you're going to get taken.
You already got abducted once.
They're going to experiment on you. So I think I'm safe for the most part. But yeah, sometimes I like being a little bit underground. Sometimes I like sort of holding off on fully proving my gifts and my abilities. And
I'm with you. I've been getting stopped at the airport 3 times in a row now.
What?
TSA, yeah,
No
it's
way.
weird.
Like
Yeah,
flagged?
I might be.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of guests that expose like stuff. So
Yep, exactly.
yeah,
It's a weird world. It still is like they're still in power,
yeah,
right? So you still have to be like what I was told by sort of my spiritual, um, tread lightly in 2025 because they still have power and they're willing to use it. 2026, it seems like things are going to really be refreshed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That makes sense. Does remote viewing work in the future too, or just the past and the present?
It does. It
Oh, it
does
does.
work in the future. The only problem with remote viewing the future is that there are an infinite number of timelines. So 25 years ago, we were very rooted collectively in one main timeline. So remote viewing the future was like pretty easy and pretty clear. Now, when I remote view the future, say with a giant solar flare attack or a blackout situation, there are many different possibilities that I see on the table. So I sort of when I talk about the future, because I definitely do. I mean, look at the prediction.
Yeah.
I talk about possibilities, right? Like this is a 60% probability right now where we're at, but things can and do always change. That's the only tricky part about looking into the future.
That makes sense. I wonder what caused it to take so many different turns.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of agendas playing out right now. Throw in a bunch of people who are resisting and fighting against and questioning everything and raising their consciousness. That's kind of throwing a loop into things as well. You know, so we have individual people who are changing the fate of the world. Whereas before there was too much control to allow that to happen.
Yeah, I think a big reason is people are not using TVs anymore. They're not watching the news anymore. That's a huge reason.
Yeah, except for the older population. And
Right.
you can tell in their mindset, like, okay, you've been watching a little too much.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell.
Really, yeah.
But with our generation and our kids, it's going to be interesting.
Very interesting.
Right?
Yeah. It's, you know, I think there's a lot of addiction in social media and just like endlessly scrolling.
Yeah.
And I do worry about the kids and that sort of level of addiction and attention span as well.
TikTok brain, they call it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. TikTok brain or iPad kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really sad. And I'm just hoping there's enough conscious parents that limit screen time.
Yeah.
Really. And just say, okay, I got to cook. Why don't we cook together? TV while I cook. It doesn't have to be like that.
Right.
You know?
I'm guilty of that. If I'm eating at home, I have to watch something.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
But once you have kids, which I'm sure you will, you start to think about things in a different way. You start to show up in a different way and you start to change your own habits in a different way. Like I always used to read ingredients, but now I'm like, okay, wow, like what's the sugar content on this?
Right.
Even the good, organic, healthy snacks have high sugar. Like just, you know, reading that is just important. Being consciously aware of that is important.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to shop these days.
Oh my God.
At grocery stores.
It is.
I only go on the outside now, like the outside sections. I don't even go in the rows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm Canadian, right? But like when I go to say Smith's here in Nevada, it blows my mind. I'm like, this is America. Like we have one aisle, a giant aisle dedicated to just chips. Yeah. How many chip options do we really need? Or condiments? How many condiment options do we really need? Like you go to Europe and it's not like that. You get your fresh bread, you get your fresh cheese, and like that's it. Like that's amazing. And your meat, you know? So, and unfortunately, America is sort of seeping into the rest of the world. And that overconsumption is just a mindset that we have to break. And I know that everyone's up in arms with tariffs, but one benefit that I see is that it's going to help us to question our own consumerism.
Yeah.
We're all just consuming cheap plastic things from China. And how about we just take a pause and say, oh, I can't afford that, or that's too expensive now. Great, then don't buy it because you don't need it. We don't need all this stuff. We really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And eating poor quality food, that shuts off your powers, right?
I mean, it has a myriad of health effects, right? Both mentally and physically and the way that you feel. It's just everything in moderation, right? Like I love chocolate. So
I know you do. Did you buy chocolate?
I love my chocolate. And so I'm not going to limit myself from eating chocolate, but I'm also not going to eat chocolate every day, all day, or else it's not going to be enjoyable.
Oh my gosh, that Dubai chocolate at the Summerlin Farmers Market. I almost
Have you gone back?
Yeah. I'm there every 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
I eat half the bar in one sitting.
It's just so decadent. Yeah. and messy.
Yeah. I started ordering it on Amazon.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is it better or worse? Probably not as good.
It wasn't as good.
Yeah.
That guy, I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
He probably
that
makes it.
guy.
Yeah.
He probably does.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. If you want to see this.
Summerlin Market Cookie.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Elizabeth, it's been awesome. Anything else you want to close off with here?
Okay, so there's an energy that's happening right now. Okay, and I don't know if it's like numerology or astrology, or just like in general, but 2025 is bringing this like fire. There's like a lot of fire. So collectively, we're feeling the fire. Individually, we're feeling the fire. So people who are naturally unmotivated are going to get a kick in the pants. They're going to get this like motivation energy. People who are naturally very motivated are going to feel very impulsive. Okay. I'm a very naturally motivated person, and I've been so impulsive in the last couple months. So what I recommend is utilize the fire energy to your advantage, but just watch what you're agreeing to. Because whatever we're agreeing to right now is going to set the tone for the rest of the year. So just be aware of it and utilize it to your advantage, especially if it's a spiritual business. We have 8 billion people who are about to really get a shock and wake up. So we need as many spiritual teachers, light workers, Reiki practitioners as possible coming online, helping to support this population.
I love that. And we'll link your site below as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Check her out, guys. See you next time.